Morning everyone. It's morning for me. You may be practicing this at a different time of the day. I got up this morning and I felt like I just needed some nice deep stretching. So I thought that I would share that with you guys. So we're going to actually start on our feet. So let's step the feet a little wider than hip distance apart and just start rocking side to side. So you can start out just feeling the soles of the feet, bending one knee at a time. And then if you feel like it, you can close your eyes and you can get quite rhythmic. Maybe you pick up one foot and go side to side like that. Maybe you get a little bigger with the movements, shifting the body a little bit more. Because we're at home, sometimes we can be a little freer, move a little more. So just make this whatever you feel like doing. I'm going to close my eyes now and just feel the air coming in and out of my nostrils. Feel the movement coming from my lower body. So I'm leading with my legs and my feet, but I'm allowing the rest of my spine to follow suit. So I'm trying to loosen every part of me, feeling the edges of my hips as I push from side to side. You can even have your hands on the outer edge of your hips if it feels nice. Feel the air coming in and out of the nostrils. And really feel yourself pushing off the feet now. So as we start sinking into movement, we start pushing off the feet a little bit more. Opening the mouth and letting out a little bit of sound. Or just letting the air out of the mouth. Moving the body. Dancing is another wonderful way. Not that we're going to break into too much of a dance here. Maybe I will do a bit of dance in a class, but today we're just swaying like this. But just putting on music and moving the body, closing the eyes is a wonderful way of moving energy around the body. In times like this, the ego likes to restrict us even more than what's actually already happening. But we don't have to feel restricted in a time where there's less on offer for us to do. We can still move our energy. Make sure we're breathing and make sure we're smiling and make sure we're moving and make sure we feel the edges of ourselves. When we feel our breath moving through our container, we start to feel a lot more inside. We might start to get some inspiration. If you've got your eyes open, you'll just see that I'm moving my arms a little bit more now. I'm just being guided by what my body wants to do. So I move side to side. A little bit more movement happening in my pelvis now, through my arms, all the way to my fingers. Taking it out, bringing it in, opening my chest, rounding my back. So as we rock from side to side, we can start to get movement through the spine. Imagine a cat-cow movement and open the chest, open the arms as you bring the arms in round the upper back, but keep the lower body moving. Feel the feet, feel the legs, feel the breath. Through the air coming in and out of the nostrils. Feel the air moving through the fingertips as you move from side to side. Let your scooping through air that's a little thicker. I can feel my shoulders opening up, a bit of warmth happening through my upper body. And then just start to slow the movement down and make the movements a little smaller. My mat's moving all around. Just straighten that up a little bit. And then just rocking a little side to side and shaking the arms out. But as you shake the arms out, wobble the wrists. So trying to let things go limp so we're not gripping. Notice, are the wrists happy to be a little wobbly, or do they feel a little stiff? Notice how your fingers feel here. Do they feel like they can move, like they're free as you wobble? So it's a real wobbling, it's a letting go and just getting enough movement to let the joints wobble around a bit. Sometimes we can grip to what is, especially in times like this, and without even making this action, our body is doing that anyway. We're kind of keeping it all in really tight. So the movement that we've just done and then wobbling through the wrists and the arms helps to shift some of this energy. Opens up the lungs, keeps the heart energy flowing. And now let's just come into a figure 8 with the hips. So just taking a moment to find what that feels like in your body. I love this figure 8 movement. It's the infinity symbol, or an 8 on its side. It's a part of my gorgeous symbol / logo that my sister created for me. Feels like a symbol just for me. She's a very clever graphic designer. So when I make this shape with my body, I feel this shape that there's no break in this shape. It just keeps on flowing. It's a really beautiful thing to feel. What I love about yoga is it offers me shapes. It offers me the essence of an animal or a warrior, or, you know, there's triangle. There's all different sorts of things that we can embody. When we think about a shape or an animal or an energy or an archetype that we can embody, let's go in the opposite direction. So just stop. You'll usually go in your comfortable direction to start with. So going the opposite way always takes me, I have to think about it a little bit, and then I can just slip into no thought again. Make sure your shoulders don't end up around your ears. And, you know, sometimes my upper body just follows the shape that I'm making with my hips. Do whatever feels right for you. Feel your feet, feel the energy in the legs. I can feel more of my feet now. I can feel through my ankles. I can feel what's going on. And then slowly come to stillness and just allow the pelvis to just rock a little. So the more that we practice what we've just done, if you did that on a daily basis, when you come back to stillness, your body will just continue to sway a little bit. Feels really nice. It's like an involuntary sway as your body searches for its center of gravity. Our sacrum is our center of gravity. It's fused vertebrae that fuse at about the age of 14. And I love that the visual in my mind is the downward pointed triangle. It's the part of the body that we need to connect to the earth. We need to plug in with our feet, growing roots deep into the ground, to bring up the wisdom of the earth and what Great Mother Gaia has to offer us. So as you just stand here with the feet a little wider than hip distance apart, close the eyes, lift up through the crown of the head, opening the base of the skull, and just feel where your pelvis has landed. my knees are a little soft, so I'm really claiming my earth energy. And in my mind, the intention is to point that downward facing triangle down into the earth. The sacrum is our center of gravity for our physical body. The heart is the center of our energetic body. And it's quite interesting to open the heart in a back bend. We need the sacrum to kind of tuck into the body a little and lift upwards towards the heart. And that always makes me smile. It's like my earth energy supports my heart to open, which leads me to think that I need to be very grounded to be open. So I need to use the energy of the earth. And if we look at the color wheel, the heart is green and the earth is red. And those two colors are complementary colors. When they, it's like the dualities, when they come together, they neutralize each other. So it's a beautiful connection to make. I work with the elements, I work with the colors, I work with the shapes, I work with the archetypes. So just feel yourself standing here with the intention of feeling your center of gravity, growing your proprioceptive awareness, feeling where you are in time and space, which helps to settle our limbic system, helps to balance the two limbs of our autonomic nervous system, sympathetic fight and flight, parasympathetic rest and digest. And I can intentionally plug myself in and then feel the element of air in my heart center, supported by my earth. Just keep on breathing here. I know I've been talking a lot, but I like to give you a little bit of information so you can feel more empowered by your practice. So you have a sense of why. And slowly open the eyes if they're closed. I'm going to turn side on and we're going to run through a little chair pose vinyasa. So have the feet a little narrower now, hip distance apart or sit bone distance apart. And I'm going to just start in like a Tadasana style. Lift up through the crown of the head, lift up through the kneecaps. And then as I inhale, I'm going to raise my arms. As I exhale, I'm going to come down through chair, draw the navel back, come all the way down, touch the ground with my fingertips, or maybe you just end up here. And then to come up, I lean back into the heels, inhale all the way up. Let's do that 4 more times. Inhale, exhale, draw the navel back, come all the way down through chair, fingertips on the ground. Inhale, up, biceps next to ears the whole time. Exhale, navel back, biceps next to ears. So maybe you only get to here, maybe you go a little lower, dropping the head. Inhale, up, 2 more rounds. Exhale, draw the navel back, bend the knees, feel the feet plugging in, lean a little forward. Inhale, lean back into the heels, feel your thighs switching on. Exhale, coming back down. Inhale, up into chair. Scoop the tail under, draw the shoulder blades down and in. Maybe your arms come straight out in front. Take 3 more breaths. And inhale all the way up. Exhale, arms come down. And just stand again. Feel the warmth through your body. Maybe you rock a little. Maybe you shake the limbs a little again. The arms, the wrists, allow the energy through the shoulders to move out. So when we feel things starting to release and move up here, move around a little. This is actually nice. Put the hands on the shoulders and just roll the shoulders around. Feel the elbows moving. I'm sort of bending my legs a little too. I'm rounding and arching my spine a little. Then go backwards. See what that feels like. I found a different rhythm here. Beautiful. And then shake it out. And then let's inhale, lift. Let's do 3 more of those. Up as high as you can. Beautiful. And then just stand, close the eyes, soften the knees. Feel the little movements through the body. Breathing into the belly. Feel the body starting to loosen up. And then let's step the legs about hip distance apart. Let's turn the right toes out to 90 degrees. I'll mirror you. Kick the left heel out to about 45 degrees, or at least that little toe side straight. Let's inhale, raise the arms here. Let's exhale, lean over as far as you can. Take the hand down onto the shin. Maybe you come to the ankle, maybe you come to the ground. The key here is keeping the chest open. So if you're coming down further at the expense of your chest facing me, you've gone too far. So you may be here to comfortably open the chest. Now what we're going to do, I'm going to show you side on so you can see, is I'm going to poke my bottom out a little bit. So my bottom's poking out, and then I'm going to put my fingers on my tailbone here. Inhale as I exhale, I'm drawing my tailbone in, and that will help me to open my chest, straightens out my whole body, and then I can take my arm up, or I can keep my hand on my waist. Take 3 breaths. You can look down, you can look straight ahead, or you can look up. And look down at the ground. Inhale, come all the way up. Let's turn the feet to the opposite side. Kick that back heel out. Left toes to 90 degrees. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, lean over. Hand down onto the shin. Find your position. Kick the buttocks out a little bit. And then inhale, exhale, scoop the tailbone under. Your head will come back, your spine will feel longer, your chest will open. You have more openness through this shoulder, and then take this top arm straight up or on the hip if your shoulder is tight. Two more breaths. Relax the tongue and the jaw. Then look down at the ground. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, turn the feet. Shuffle a little more forward. Inhale, raise the arms here. Exhale, come into a lunge. So again, I'm going to show you this. I'm actually just going to pop another mat across here so I don't slip on my carpet. Make sure you have good stickage for your feet, if stickage is a word. So I'm down in my lunge here. I'm just going to lift up my top so you can see what I'm doing through my buttocks. So I inhale, raise my arms. Exhale, come into my lunge. And then I just poke my bottom out a little bit. Let's actually take the hands to the hips and then take your hands to your tailbone. First 2 fingers to your tailbone. With the bottom poking out, you can feel that your tummy drops down. You can't find any core support here. And then I inhale. As I exhale, I draw my tailbone in. You can see it lifts up my chest. And then I can tuck the outer edge of my right thigh under. And then I take my elbow down on my thigh. So I'll come back to here. I've poked out, I've tucked in, I feel myself lengthening, palm facing up, take my arm up, take my arm over. Now remember, this can stay on the hip here. Very valid position. Maybe you're not quite down so low in your lunge, but you can still bring your pubic tailbone forward, opening up around the pubic bone. So you'll feel very open around the front hips and the pubic bone. Take 2 more breaths. Look down at the ground. Inhale, come up. Hands on hips. Turn to the opposite side. So we've got the left toes out at 90 degrees. Kick the back heel out. Come in. Let's just keep the hands on the hips. Let's inhale, lift up through the crown of the head. Exhale, come into your lunge. Keep the hands on the hips, poke the bottom out here. So I'm arching my back. I'm losing connection to my core. Inhale again. Exhale. Feel your tailbone tucking under. Feel your outer edge of your left hip and your buttock rolling under, and it brings me more into a straight line. And then with that activation, we keep that activation. Elbow on the thigh, palm facing up. Nice and open through the chest. Maybe you take the top arm up. Maybe you keep it on your waist. Maybe you take it all the way over. Staying up a little higher. Even if you can go down lower with this hand, stay up a little higher and just feel the opening through the pelvis, lengthening through the fingers. Take 1 more breath. Look down at the ground. Inhale, coming all the way up. Hands on hips. Turn the toes to the front. Bend the knees. It's getting quite warm up here. So bending the knees, toes turn in, and just relaxing the arms down, close the eyes. Feel what's happening in your body. Feel your pelvis. Come back in your mind's eye to your sacrum, downward pointing triangle, base of the spine, sit bones. So the pelvis is shaped like an anchor or like a chalice. It's where our life force energy can be stored. Mula Bandha. Root chakra, root chakra, which is our earth chakra, and our second chakra, which is our place of waters in the body. The color is orange, closely connected to our expression of our vibration through our throat. Orange and blue. Just keep feeling the feet here. Maybe you straighten the legs a little. As you straighten the legs, keep the tailbone under and open the eyes. We're going to stay in this position. I'm just going to work side on again so you can see what I'm doing with my butt. So my heels are kicked out. My toes are a little in. My hands are on my hips, and I'm going to poke my bottom out a little bit. Now really feel here that as I poke my bottom out, my front ribs come out. I lose my connection to my core. My sit bones feel quite free. So I'm going to inhale, exhale without gripping my buttocks. I'm going to claim my tail and tuck it under. Now when I don't use my buttocks here, I feel some really deep core muscles around my pubic bone and up around my front hips, lifting up. That will be my pelvic floor muscles lifting up, but I'm not gripping anything. They're just activating from the movement. If you don't feel anything, don't worry. Just keep on practicing like this and you will. It's a really nice way of finding the pelvic floor muscles. Instead of consciously gripping them, they start to just lift with the movements that we offer our pelvis during practice. So my knees are a little bent here. From the action, I want to see if I can straighten my knees but keep the action. And whoa, that switches on a lot more through here. But while my buttocks have toned, they are not working here. They've just toned with the rest of what's happening. I'm not using my buttocks to grab my tail. I'm using my inner muscles. Inhale, raise the arms here. Exhale, draw the navel and the front ribs back. 2 more breaths like that. Inhale. Exhale. Navel back, front ribs back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale again. Exhale. If you can, keep the biceps next to ears. Keep the lower belly lifting. Lengthen as far as you can, nice and long. If this is too much, please bring fingertips to the ground or to blocks. Take 1 more breath. At the end of your exhale, fingertips on the ground. Lengthen again. You'll notice I'm not opening my chin. Crown of the head is lengthening away from the tail, and my tail is still slightly scooped. Inhale here. Exhale, fold. As I fold down, my kneecaps lift. I walk my hands back. Crown of the head on the ground or making its way to the ground. Maybe you're up higher. Maybe you're on blocks. Maybe your knees are a little bent here. Wherever you're at, find your wide leg forward fold. Take 3 full breaths. Shoulders away from ears. Breathe into the belly. Push into the hands, maybe keep them exactly where they are. This is a nice opening for the wrists. Lengthen out again, tail to crown long. 1 more breath. Then bend your knees, deeply bend the knees and turn the toes out. Walk the hands out and come down nice and low, so earthing the buttocks down and then lifting up through the heart a little. Now you'll see my buttocks are out a little bit. It's totally fine. The next time I exhale, I'm going to tuck them in a little bit. And then I really feel my inner groins opening here. I've got a little bit of pressure. My elbows pushing my inner knees out. Take 2 more breaths. So my focus is low down here. And the next time I inhale, push into the feet, coming all the way up. Heel, toe, turning to face, well, I'll turn to face the front. You'll probably still be facing the front. And just rocking again. Rocking, wobbling the wrists a little. Lots of effort in these forms when we claim our tail. I'll be doing a lot of claiming our tail. Come to stillness or keep rocking, whatever feels right for you. When we claim our tail, we claim our resolve. We claim our plug into who we are. We claim our decision-making process. It's a lot easier to find those things when we have roots. Come to Tadasana, close the eyes, lift up through the knees, lift up through the crown of the head. Palms facing forward. Feel the energy running through your body. I can feel a lot happening in my pelvis, through my legs, my feet. Two more breaths. And slowly open your eyes. We're going to come into another standing pose. Maybe have a couple of blocks or books out in front. Take the feet about a leg distance apart, so not too wide at all. And then I'm going to spin all the way around. So my right foot is forward, my left foot is back. Toes are turned out a little, so they're heading up towards the left top corner of the mat. And make sure that you can earth through that back heel and feel yourself solid back there. If you can find your back heel, you'll be able to find your tail. So again, I'm just going to lift up so you can see what happens in my lower body. As I inhale, lift up through the crown of the head. As I exhale, I come forward a little. Now poke the bottom out here by arching the lower back. Inhale, exhale, round the lower back. It'll feel like it's rounding, but it's actually lengthening, and my tail is tucked in. My chest is nice and open. I inhale again here, and then I exhale, come down over my front leg. Now hands may come to the ground, or your hands may be on blocks. Your knee may be a little bent here, but take the bottom back a little bit more if the knee is bent. Otherwise, straighten the leg, reclaim the tuck. Inhale, exhale. Let's take 3 or 4 breaths. Lift the quad muscles. Relax the back of the neck, the tongue, the jaw. And inhale, raise. Exhale, hands on hips. Inhale, lift. You can bend that front knee a little. Exhale, step forward. Take a few breaths in Tadasana. Close the eyes. Lift up through the crown of the head. Feel the energy in the legs. When we work a little more with alignment, and we are a little bit more precise, but we still have a fluidity with our breath, we start to come out of our daily habitual movement patterns that also help to hold us in our mental, emotional patterning as well. It's all hardwired into our nervous system. So we're actually, in this time of change, releasing old patterns and allowing new frequencies to come into our system. And you'll see that naturally my hand spirals, how the energy comes in. So we're creating space for that new energy to come in. And then I'm stepping my right foot back, so my left foot is forward. Find my heel, hands on hips, direct my hips around to the front. Straighten both legs if I can. Find the big toe mound of both feet and plug in. Just going to lift my top up here so you can see what's happening. Inhale, lift up through the crown of the head. Immediately, as soon as I even think about lifting up through the crown, my heart opens, my lower belly pulls in, my thighs lift, my kneecaps, and my feet plug in. Inhale, exhale, stay nice and long. Come to about here, then poke the bottom out. Inhale again. As you exhale, draw it under. Pull the outer edge of this hip back. Inhale, exhale, fold forward. Find your blocks, find the ground. Inhale, lengthen one more time. Exhale. As I come down, front ribs are coming in, navel's coming in, tail tucking under. Beautiful. This front knee can be bent. If it is, kick the bottom back a little bit and feel that opening up around your sit bone. If your leg is straight, reclaim the tail under. Couple more breaths. Gazing at your shin. Face is soft. No gripping through the jaw. Next time you inhale, raise to halfway. Exhale, hands on hips, plug the feet in. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, bend the knee, step forward, come into Tadasana. Feel the energy. So as we are working through and we're claiming the energy of our tail, we're bypassing the gripping through the butt cheeks. So things will feel really different. The butt cheeks and the jaw are closely connecting. So we're also really focusing on loosening the jaw, creating space in here. Salivary glands, maybe there's more saliva. Digestion starts in the mouth. And as we release the butt cheeks, we can free the joints and free the energy traveling from the earth, up the legs, to the pelvis, back down again, up again, further in the body. So we start to learn how to master our energy and how it flows in our container. It's a big journey. Okay, so let's leave it there for standing poses. And let's come into downward facing dog. So I'm going to come down onto my knees. I'm just going to tuck my top a little so you can still see what's happening in my pelvis. Okay, so my hands are spread, index finger facing straight forward. And I'm just going to lean my body weight a little forward here. Doesn't really matter what's happening, just let the lower body be soft, just rock a little. I'm just rocking a little side to side and I'm dropping weight down into my knuckle points. So we're trying to find this part of the hand. So dropping weight down into the knuckle points, noticing where the hands want to come off the ground, noticing where they're happy to earth, really spreading the fleshy part of my thumb. Then I'm going to curl my toes. Inhale, keep that push into the base of the fingers. Come up high onto the balls of the feet. Take the sit bones high here. As soon as I take the sit bones high, my head comes closer to the ground. I push down through my knuckles. I lift up through my arms and I just breathe here. Take another 2 breaths, feeling the length of your arms. As I next exhale, I imagine the fascia on the soles of my feet lengthening out. My heels come towards the ground. I kick the heels out a little. My inner thighs push back. My knuckles push into the ground. I take 3 more breaths. Knees can be bent here. It's a spine lengthening pose. Feel the softening and the broadening of the pelvic floor. Next time you inhale, come forward as if you're coming into a plank. Lengthen through the heels. Let's lift the buttocks here, arch the lower back, and then scoop the tail. You'll feel that lengthen the spine. Beautiful. Take 2 more breaths here. Knees to the ground. Exhale back to child's pose. Rock the hips. Let it go. Arms down by the side of the body or out in front or stacked under your forehead. Whatever feels right for you, let's stay here. Breathing, dropping, heaviness, letting go. I've got lots of sensation through my hands and my wrists. I'm letting them go totally limp now. Let go of the jaw. Notice, is there anywhere in the body that's gripping? Let it go. Two more breaths. And drag the hands to under the shoulders. Push into the hands. Roll up through the spine. Sit back on your feet if that's comfortable. Otherwise, just come to a seat that is comfortable. Take a few breaths. Close the eyes. Feel your spine upright. Tuck your tail under a little. Crown of the head tall. Chest open, plugged into the earth. Heart open, shoulders starting to soften. And then coming to sit. Maybe you sit on a blanket. Give yourself a little bit of height under your buttocks. Maybe you just sit on the ground. Have as much height as you need so when you come to sitting, you're not slumping back. So slumping back just simply means that you're a little tight through the hamstrings. The hamstrings tug on the sit bones, which tug on the lower back muscles, which stops you from being able to open the chest. So if you're like this, just pile up some pillows or blankets under the buttocks until you're able to sit up nice and tall, and it feels like your sacrum is even tucking in a little bit. So your tail will feel like it's plugging down into the earth. My heels are plugged into the earth. My toes are spread. My chest feels open, supported by my sits bones and my tail plugging into the earth. So have what you need underneath your buttocks. And we'll just come to sitting. Dandasana, equal sitting. Have the hands on the ground next to you. You can be on the fingertips if you like. Arms eventually come to straight. You can walk them back a little. If you walk them back, have the hands still next to the buttocks. Draw the shoulder blades towards each other. Now as you do this, make sure your front ribs and navel don't throw forward, and we come into a back bend, leaving the kidneys vulnerable in a back bend. We want to inhale here, exhale. As you exhale and the front ribs and the navel come back, you'll feel your tail tuck under slightly. So because we've done so much work with the tail in the standing poses, you'll feel it tucking under. You'll feel a lift through here. Or you'll start to anyway. Just keep practicing. Just keep pressing play on this class. I'll be putting up lots of others. And it's the neural pathways. As soon as they start to connect, you'll go, whoa, I'm plugged. I'm getting plugged in. And from Dandasana, we're going to inhale, raise the arms here. Draw the navel back. Draw the front ribs back. Plug the shoulder blades in to the back body. Lengthen through the fingers so my shoulders away from my ears. You can see my feet are still active. Take 3 more breaths here. Feel the effort just to sit at right angles. Relax the tongue and the jaw. Soften the eyes or close them. Next time you exhale, lift, lift, lift as you come forward. Keep the biceps next to ears. When you can go no further, bring the hands down. Maybe you hang on to the feet. Maybe you've wrapped the first 2 fingers around the big toes. If you're hanging on to the feet or the big toes, take the elbows wide to keep the chest broad, and it keeps the upper back switched on. Inhale again, wherever you're at, pull away. Maybe you have a belt or a scarf around your feet and you're hanging onto it. Maybe you just have your fingertips on the ground. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold a little lower. Crown of the head now, lengthening away from the tail. Feel your tail plugged into the earth. Feel your navel and your front ribs back. Keep on breathing. I'm just going to go side on so you can see the shape that I'm making. Walk my sit bones back. Stay where you are. Just keep on breathing, and you'll see that I'm still broad across my chest. I'm not opening my throat. It's the crown of the head lengthening away. And I come down, front hips first, then belly, then rib cage. Take 3 more breaths. Look straight down at the ground. Then inhale, lift. Take the arms out again. Come all the way up. Exhale, arms come down. Come back to Dandasana. Hands by the side of the body. Push into the earth. Draw the front ribs in. Lifting crown of head. 2 more breaths. Then releasing. Okay, let's just lean back a little. Lots of work there. Rock the windshield, wipe the feet. Let the thighs be soft. You'll just look at the legs. The movement's coming all the way up to my pelvis. I can see my belly moving. So it's really lovely to claim the tailbone. Claim the earth element of us at times like this. Find our resolve. Find our discipline. When there's no routine, when there's nothing we can grab onto, we need to create something that holds us. So this time is all about creating our own. And then just let the feet flop, slump into the shoulders. Let everything go soft. So when we move the body, when we feel where we're at, we go, oh, okay, I need to rest more. Oh, okay, I think I might need to exercise more. Oh, maybe I need to meditate more. Maybe I need to be more focused in that thing I was studying. Maybe there's stuff I can do right now. Maybe there's stuff I can offer other people. Maybe there's more I need to give to myself. You know, there's so much to learn, always. We don't know anything, really. And if we can enter every day with the mind of a learner, it can really help us out. Okay, let's come into a seated twist. So be up on your perch or flat on the ground, whatever suits you. Remember, it's slumpasana that shows us where our spine needs to be. Doesn't matter where you're at exactly where your body is at right now. And if there's things you learn about your body that you'd like to change, this is the place to do it. With love, with compassion, and with our efforts and our discipline to keep coming back to the mat. So I'm going to inhale, I'll mirror you, draw my right leg in, and earth down through that heel. Lengthen this leg away from you. For those of you, when you lengthen through this leg and your heel comes off the ground, this goes for any seated forward fold. I should have given this cue with Paschimottanasana as well. Roll up a towel, pop it under here, earth the heel, or you can just earth the heel and let the knee come come off the ground a little bit. It will feel very strange if you're used to using your knee joint to push back. But offer yourself the support. It will be worth it for the change that will offer you in the long term. So everyone find the center of their heel, spread the toes, lift up through the quad muscles, find where your tail is at, earth down through this foot. There's a little bit of space here. Then I'm going to inhale, raise my left arm for you guys, nice and tall. Exhale, I'm going to push this knee in and hook it around. Now you may only get to here, you may be your wrist, or you may be beyond your knee. I really like the hook because it just allows me to lean back, pull my belly through, and then I take my right arm up and take it down behind me. And no slumpasana here. So if your spine is dropping back, give yourself more support or don't go as far. Earth through the heel. Don't forget about this leg. Turn the eye gaze. Now the eye gaze can be here if it's comfy. It can be here, it can be here, it can be looking over the back shoulder. Relax the shoulders. Pull the navel through. Inhale, lengthen through the crown. Exhale, navel comes back and through. Keep on breathing. Close the eyes, go internal. Next time I inhale, I'm going to keep everything as it is, but I'm going to turn my head to look over my front shoulder. Close down the eyes again. If you open them, take 2 more breaths. Feel the opening of that back shoulder. Relax the jaw as much as you can and allow energy to run through there. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale, let it go. And then inhale, unwind. Exhale, lengthen the leg. Rock side to side, freeing these sit bones, earthing them down. Inhale, draw the left leg in. Exhale, earth. Inhale, lift. Make sure you've got what you need. Maybe a roll up under here. Maybe you just dig the heel in and spread the toes. Inhale, raise your right arm. Use your left hand to push that knee in. Kick the heel of that left foot out a little bit. Earth it down. Inhale again. Exhale, wrap. Inhale, lift up tall. Lift this arm up. Pull back through the belly. Spin the navel. So we're not moving from the shoulders. We're moving from the navel. Inhale again. Exhale. Now if we can move from the navel in our twists, the shoulders will start to relax and the thoracic spine will start to open up. Don't forget about this leg. Inhale, exhale, find a sweet spot for the head and neck. Relax the jaw as much as you can. Close the eyes. Breathe into the belly. Every time you inhale, feel your crown lengthening. Every time you exhale, draw the navel through a little bit more. Micro movements now. Next time you inhale, everything stays as it is. Head turns away from navel, but navel keeps spinning away from the front. Take 3 more breaths. Relax the jaw, open up the neck and trapezius, across the top of the shoulders, upper traps, relaxing. Strengthen the spine. Then inhale, unwinding. Exhale, release the leg. Let's lean back again. Keep coming back to this floppiness. We lift, we let go, we lift, we let go, we lift, we let go. We strengthen, we relax. Shrug the shoulders here. Walk the upper body a little side to side. Drop the chin to the chest, around the spine. Take another couple of breaths. And slowly walk the hands back, lift up. Now grab a block or a book or something and have it next to you. We're going to work with bridge pose. Now if you feel like you've got a little bit more oomph left in you, I'll talk you through. Actually, I'll show you the restorative version first. If you feel like you just need to rest now, totally valid to do that. Bring the heels in towards the buttocks, knees up towards the ceiling, little toe side straight, and measure your heels so they're as wide as your pelvis, so you've got a nice foundation. Lift and spread the toes. Inhale, lift the back hips off the ground. Now it can be on the low side or it can be on the higher side, and just on the sacrum here, sacrum and back hips. The sacrum creates a beautiful ledge. So if this is where you're at, have the arms out by the side, relax the upper palate and soften it towards the ground, and feel your neck lengthening and the back of your skull getting heavier. So everyone come to here. Let's meet here. For those of us that have got a little bit more oomph, we're going to come up into bridge and find our tail there. Otherwise, stay here for as long as you like. Now the foot setup is perfect for bridge. If you're coming up with me, lift and spread the toes. Relax them down, but don't grip. Push into the soles of the feet. Take your block out. Take your hands underneath. Roll your shoulders under. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Lengthen through your arms. Now here, let the buttocks drop. So there'll be an arch in the lumbar spine. Let the buttocks drop down. So I'll feel like I'm caving in here a little bit. And then I'm going to lengthen my tailbone just so it comes into alignment with my navel. So pubic bone and navel will be even here. So I'm not really scooping. I'm not trying to flatten my lumbar spine because I need an arch there for my back bend. But I'm just scooping enough so I'm even through my navel and my pubic bone. Let's drop again. Feel the buttocks switch off, give them a wobble. And then find those inner core muscles to lengthen the tail a little. And then push into the feet, push into the upper arms. Soften the back palate down to the ground. Relax the jaw as much as you can. Knees moving away from the shoulders. Keep on lifting, keep on pushing. Take 3 breaths. Then let's all come back down, meeting on the block. Now if you just practiced bridge pose like that, what you'll feel either now or eventually is your buttocks, while there'll be a tone in your buttocks, we're not gripping for dear life through the buttocks to find stability for the lower back. We're finding it with how we actually use our bones and the structure of our body. So we're going to come up one more time. Push into the feet, take the block out. Rock from side to side, tuck the shoulders under. Drop the buttocks down here. So relax the buttocks all together, a little arch. And then inhale, exhale, lengthen the tail just enough so it comes into alignment with your belly button, with your navel. And then I'm going to push and lift, trying to keep that alignment. Lengthen my knees away, Push into my upper arms. So there's a lengthening and an arching, lengthening and an arching. Soft palate, softening down towards the ground. A softness through my throat. Take 3 more breaths. Thighs are really switched on here. And then slowly coming out, grab your block. Meet everyone who's already relaxing. Now you can even let the lumbar spine go here and let it kind of be a little soft off your block. Breathe into the belly. Feel the energy moving through the legs. Feel the energy in the pelvis. Feel things changing. Put your hands on your hips and just rock your pelvis a little. Feel what's going on in there. It probably feels quite different. Hopefully it does feel different to how you're used to practicing. Even for us that are quite seasoned practitioners of yoga, when we really hone in and focus on a body part, things can start to feel different again, because we all have these habitual movement patterns according to our mental emotional patterns, the people we observed as we were growing up. From the ages of 1 to 7, we take on the patterns of the people around us. So think back to mum, dad, grandparents, aunties, uncles, whoever you spent a lot of time with in the first 7 years of your life, and just go, whoa, okay, I'm undoing a myriad of stuff that may not even be mine. No wonder there's so much going on for me. Take a few more breaths here. Some of you have been here for a long time. It's okay. It's a beautiful inversion. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale, let it go. Push the feet into the ground. Lift enough to remove your block. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Release. Rock the knees a little side to side. Maybe you windshield wipe. Keep the feet wide, just dropping the knees side to side. Then let's bring the knees into the chest. Have the hands on the knees. Draw the knees in, bend the elbows. Okay, let's just inhale here. As you exhale, draw the knees in. Take the elbows, bend the elbows. Inhale, straighten elbows, take the knees away. There won't be a lot of sensation here. We're just stabilizing the back hips before the end of practice. Inhale, knees away, straighten elbows. Exhale, bend elbows, bend knees in. 3 more rounds. Feel the subtleties. There won't be deep sensation. Feel the tiny little subtle sensations. And then release the feet to the ground. Roll to a side. If you have wall space near you, you can make your way to the wall. Turn side on. Take your sit bones up the wall. Bring your shoulder down onto the wall and take your legs up. Shuffle in closer to the wall. Make sure your torso is straight here. And let's just spend a few minutes here in legs up the wall. If you like, you can tie a scarf or a belt or a top or something around your thighs so you can really let go. You can have the arms out at shoulder height, a little bit further down, or cactus. Cactus will open the shoulders a little bit more. What we're wanting to do here is just find a position where you can totally let go. So this drains all of the blood from the lower body down into the belly. The heart doesn't have to pump here to get the blood flowing. It's also anti-gravity. So all of the effects that gravity have on our body as we're moving around upright, this reverses those effects. So it kind of puts everything back where it needs to go. And even though this isn't a huge inversion, we still get really deep benefits from legs up the wall. So don't underestimate this beautiful asana. Practice it every day and you'll notice the difference in how you feel mentally, physically, emotionally. Close the eyes, relax the tongue, the jaw, the soft palate, the roof of the mouth. As you soften it, you'll feel the base of the skull getting heavier, that the eyeballs drop back. Softly breathing into your belly. Feeling everything dropping down to your pelvis. Feeling your spine, your shoulders, your hips, the base of your skull. The knees are soft, the feet are totally at ease and relaxed. You can stay here for as long as you like. If you have time, linger here, press stop, press pause. When you're ready to come out, bend the knees one at a time, have the soles of the feet on the wall. Stop here for a moment. Then roll to a side, push into the hands. Make your way back to your mat. And let's enter Shavasana. So you can have a bolster or a blanket or something just under the thighs or the knees to earth the sacrum a little bit more. You can have something under your head and neck. Breathe into the belly. Make sure your heels are touching the ground. Take 3 full breaths, feeling all of you earthing, effortless. And And then let go of everything. Let go of the breath. Observe yourself in absolute stillness and deep rest. Again, press pause, stay here for as long as you like. When you're ready to come out, wriggle the toes and the fingers. Bend the knees. Draw the knees into the chest. Roll to the right side. Take a moment here. And pushing into the hands, coming all the way up. Taking a seat. I always transition from practice from a seat just to feel myself upright. If you have time for meditation, now is the perfect time for meditation, when you're comfortable and at peace in your body. When you're ready to come out, bring the hands together at the heart, thumbs touching the sternum. Inhale, exhale, bow to your heart center. Honoring and giving thanks to you. Meeting self with kindness, care and compassion as we learn about ourselves through practice. Inhale, raise the head, thumbs to the third eye. Softly bowing, honoring and giving thanks to the practice with its ancient roots and practical wisdom. And honoring and giving thanks to each other. Namaste. Inhale, raising. Exhale, hands to heart. And releasing. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I'll see you again soon. Have a great day.